Corbin Burnes signed a 6-year, $210 million deal with the Diamondbacks, and he's DONE. He needs Tommy John surgery in what can only be described as a complete nightmare for the Diamondbacks, who are off to an inconsistent start, losing ground quickly to the Padres and the Dodgers, needing to figure out a way to get their season turned around, given the fact that they did not concede in any way to the strong National League West. As a matter of fact, they spent money in a way that made them uncomfortable at a level never before seen for the Diamondbacks. And just like that, poof. Exactly as Commissioner Selig would say to us, you sign a pitcher to a long-term deal and you're going to get screwed, as he would take a swig of his Diet Coke. And you know what? He's pretty much never been wrong. Corbin Burnes signing that 6-year, $210 and having Tommy John is worse than signing Madison Bumgarner and realizing he stinks. Why? When your baseball people make a decision that's wrong based on the quality of the player, who sign a player that's too old and no longer performing, or a young player who did perform but not consistently enough and then ends up not performing, you can evaluate your baseball people and you can live with those type of mistakes because it happens. Evaluating players is difficult. We evaluate those who evaluate players during the course of time. We do not look at one bad trade and say, my God. But when you sign a pitcher who gets Tommy John and will miss an entire year and a half of games, what do? Do you look at your GM? Do you look at your team president? No. If you're Ken Kendrick, you look at yourself. You look at yourself for signing a pitcher for 6 years at that number, and you say, that is the type of exposure that under no scenario should I put myself or my investors. That is the type of eggs in a basket that has cracks in it, both the eggs and the basket. Just think about what it means that Corbin Burnes, starting a 6-year deal, not only does he miss this year, which is year 1, he misses next year, which is year 2. Then he comes back and you're not really back to yourself by the time you're in year 3. And before you know it, you're in year 4. And when you sign the deal, you were pretty sure by year 4 you were going to get a diminished Corbin Burnes, but you would have had the benefit of a prime, amazing Corbin Burnes in years 1, 2, and 3. Uh-oh. This is the type of injury that actually has an impact, not just this year, but in the years ahead. Because when you've got one of your pitchers who's making money, and let me be clear, do you know who doesn't lose money by getting Tommy John? Raise your hand if you know, because I got an idea for you. Corbin Burnes. His contract is guaranteed. There's no injury exception. There's no way to make it not guaranteed if he's not on the roster on a certain day. There's none of that jazz and junk. Corbin Burnes will get every penny of his $210 million, and he'll only pitch for 4 of the years at best. Effectively, wait to see how many. Why am I so worked up over a 30-year-old getting Tommy John? Because when you're 32 years old coming back, even if you're a late 31, there is nothing guaranteed. And when you give 6 years to a 30-year-old thinking that he's going to perform through 36 without using needles in his wife's tushy, then I would tell you that it may not happen that way. And the Diamondbacks wake up and say, we've still got to pay Corbin Burnes next year. How does that impact our free agents to be? How do we put a team together? Do we now sign Zach Gallen back? What do we do with Merrill Kelly? Should we keep him? Should we not keep him? The funny part about this is that there may be a scenario under which you would have decided that with Corbin Burnes, it allows you to let players go, like a Zach Gallen or a Merrill Kelly. But then you realize that if you let those guys go as free agents, then who's going to be in your rotation? Then you realize something even funnier. Owners do this all the time. They keep track of how old they are. And they say, well, wait a minute. we can't throw away this year because then I'm going to get a year older. The players are getting a year older. And really, the only octogenarian owner who just says how badly he doesn't want things to happen, but they happen anyway, is Reinsdorf with the White Sox. Most of the octogenarian owners are trying very hard to figure out what can we do to win? How can we get something done? The Diamondbacks have not won the World Series since '01. It's 25 years ago. Some teams are saying, hey, that's okay. That's not as long a drought as others, but he's been desperate to win a second ring. How do I know? Hi, I'm David Samson. I spent 14 years desperate to get a second ring. That feeling happens when you have felt something before but didn't quite enjoy it as much as you know that you would enjoy it a second time. And when you know the separating factor that a second ring would have, having more than one ring, even though the one ring is the real separator because there's so many people without a ring, and that's your view once you get the first ring, that you've done it, but then you immediately say, yeah, but it'd be pretty sweet to get the second. Ken Kendrick, ladies and gentlemen. So Corbin Burnes is going to have surgery, and here's what the result's going to be. I'm going to get a wait to see right. On June 2nd, 2025, when Corbin Burnes got hurt, I said when he walked off the mound, he's out till at least the All-Star game, even though the manager said, oh, it may not be anything. We may have dodged a bullet here. And I told you, you don't take a pitcher out with him complaining about elbow, having inflammation, and having it bing, bang, boom, 4 weeks. No chance, toilet pants. Little did I know that there was a UCL tear. But it's still a wait to see victory. When I talk to you about pitching injuries, I think it's just important for you to understand what I'm saying and imagine names. Let me give you in the top 10 starting pitching contracts. These are the top 10 highest paid starting pitchers. I'm going to give you some names. Tell me if you recognize any of the names and how they're doing. Number 10, Tyler Glasnow. OUT, HURT, DONE, MAYBE. Number 7, Aaron Nola. Stinks. Has a 6+ ERA. He's pitching like a number 8 starter. Blake Snell, number 6. How's he doing? OUT. Remember how hurt he is? Jacob deGrom, number 5. Awesome. He is pitching fantastically. If you're not paying attention to the Texas Rangers because they can't hit and they don't win, and it's sort of like a Paul Skeens situation with the Pirates, well, he'll give you 8 strong yesterday and still not get a win because the Pirate offense is anemic to the point of Band-Aids required. DeGrom's been great. Number 4, Corbin Burnes, out. Number 2, Garrett Cole, out. Half of the top 10 either underperforming or not performing at all. What is the lesson that you learn? Anybody? Bueller? Way better to be David Stearns. I'm going to do a quick thing here for you, Coca. Just a quick love of David Stearns, the Mets GM, who got absolutely crushed by Mets fans, Coca included. You didn't do enough for our rotation. You got Manaea out. You got Montas out. This is going to be a nightmare. And what does he do? He scrapes together a rotation that is now amongst the best in Major League Baseball because he knows what he's doing. What the commissioner says to you time and time again, stop just taking the big names and overpaying them. You're not going to get the performance. Why don't you ask your GMs to be good at their jobs? That was owners' meetings every time.